Piers Morgan is a special kind of snowflake. He is the most special, the specialist of snowflakes, the snowflakiest of all snowflakes. And he recently got into it about the whole Royals drama. Now, look, I don't really care too much about the Royals drama. Let's be honest about that. I don't want to spend too much energy talking about the subject itself. But what I want to focus on is Piers Morgan and his ridiculous reaction to it. In fact, he ended up walking out during a segment when his co-host basically called him out for really crappy behavior. Take a look.
You don't like Meghan Markle. You've made it so clear a number of times on this program, a number of times. And I understand that you've got a personal relationship with Meghan Markle, or had one, and she cut you off. She's entitled to cut you off if she wants to. Has she said anything about you since she cut you off? I don't think she has, but yet you continue to trash her.
OK, I'm done with this.
No.
Sorry, no. Sorry.
Do you know what? That's pathetic.
You can trash me, maybe, not my own.
No.
See you later.
I'm being...
Sorry, can't do this.
This is absolutely diabolical behaviour. I'm sorry, but Piers spouts off on a regular basis, and we all have to sit there and listen.
Oh, my God. A minute of criticism, the guy shuts down. Folds. Like origami. Gone. Folded right up. And it's not even like it was all that mean. It's just like, hey, you know what? Stop being petty. You're being kind of a douchebag. She didn't want to be your friend. That doesn't mean that you could sit here and criticize her for things that, she didn't necessarily do. Again, you couldn't handle any of the lightest criticism. Get over it, dude. If you're going to be in media, you got to have a tough skin. Again, this guy is a shit person. He's always been a shit person. He's always been that guy. You know the guy. You know the type. Basically gets outraged for essentially clicks and views. He's that guy. Again, his political takes are also pretty garbage overall. Again, he's a UK conservative, friend of Donald Trump. He's anti-trans. Again, he hates trans people. Let me show you a tweet here that he sent out about that. So here we go. That is Piers Morgan's head that is superimposed over a penguin. Apparently, he's identifies as a penguin. I mean, hey, you do you, dude. All right. That apparently he's just had to wade into the gender debate, which again, do you be you? That's it. That whatever. All right. Anyway. It's not exactly a great person. So now that happened yesterday. And today, well, either he quit or he got fired. I don't know the specific details of this, but he is no longer at Good Morning Britain, which I'm sure, of course, many viewers will be very, very upset about. In fact, here's a statement from ITV. Morgan is leaving his role at Good Morning Britain altogether. Following discussions with ITV, Piers Morgan has decided now is the time to leave Good Morning Britain. ITV has accepted this decision. There's nothing further to add. Fun. Morgan's departure comes after 41,000 people wrote into the UK media regulator Ofcom to complain about his remarks about Meghan Markle on Monday. Again, I guess he went on a gigantic tirade against her because she, quote unquote, ghosted him. Oh, you mean she canceled him? And then as a result, he canceled himself over light criticism. Hilarious. Now, look, again, he attacked Markle. And let me just address that just for a second, not to get too deep into it. But basically, he's like, I don't believe that she could be depressed. I don't believe that she could ever, attempt suicide. For one, fuck off. All right. Look, here's the thing. Depression and suicide can happen to anybody. All right. Rich or famous. I mean, look at Robin Williams. You never would have thought fame, riches, beloved all across the world. And that, again, took his own life. I mean, it happens to people. It can happen to anyone who has, you know, bouts of depression, can go through difficult things. That happens. And so now Markle said, look, even though, yes, married, you know, what is it, Prince Harry or whatever. And you know, even though I had married into incredible wealth and privilege, I was still depressed. I felt very mistreated because there is, obviously, there's some racism problems within the monarchy. Let's be honest, not exactly friendly to, you know, people of color. Those old monarchies are racist as hell. I think we should get rid of the old monarchies. I hope the UK decides to get rid of the crown. I think that would be better. Okay. And so, yes, I believe absolutely that she went through a tough time. Again, this can happen to anyone. And so human to human, I empathize with that. I do. But Piers Morgan's like, nah, I don't really care. You ghosted me. We were friends on Twitter once. We went and had coffee, and you found out how much of a shit human being I am and decided not to associate with me anymore. I am so mad. All right, Chief. Go ahead. Do you, but don't be surprised if people get mad at you for doing that. And you get publicly owned on Twitter for doing so. Speaking of getting publicly owned, all right. I know it's not related. This is actually from 2019, but somebody is going to go on and this is, I think, one of the greatest hits on Good Morning Britain, and this is when Piers Morgan was defending Winston Churchill, and ended up getting absolutely just obliterated. Take a look.
So let's make a comparison. Piers, you're a sensitive soul. Yesterday, you accused me of being a racist for pointing out that you look like honey-glazed gammon. If you want an example of real racism, you just have to look to Churchill. He talked about his belief in the triumph of the Aryan race. He hated Indians with a passion. He said they were a beastly people with a beastly religion. When a famine broke out, 3 million people starved to death. So that's why I said that he was a white supremacist. I said mass murderer because he always advocated the most violent, the most destructive option. He used poisoned gas against Kurds, against Afghans. He was a strong supporter of Britain's concentration camps in the Boer War, where 28,000 people, women and children, died. He's always advocated the use of aerial bombardments in what he described as terror bombing campaigns. In fact, his own cabinet had to stop him when he was in the cabinet in the 20s. Cabinet colleagues had to stop him from bombing protesters in Ireland.
Winston Churchill was voted the greatest Briton of the last century for a reason. Is that people believe that he almost single-handedly, through the power of his rhetoric in World War II, saved this country from the Nazis. Again, you laugh. That sneering little laugh.
That won the war. It was the soldiers, the sailors, and the airmen who won the war, and they voted him out when they came home.
Oh, that last part. No, it wasn't Churchill that won the war. It was the people. It was the soldiers. And they voted his ass out. Praxis. That's praxis. Well done. If you enjoyed this video, please give us a like and share with your friends. You can subscribe and help out the channel by becoming a patron. It's patreon.com/Jeff Waldorf, or you can become a channel member as well by hitting the join button below.